He-Man, Masters of the Universe Revelation is such a weird show. And when I say weird, I mean a lot of weird and questionable decisions were made in the show and revolving it. From its pre-release marketing down to its post-release damage control. And after finishing the 5 episodes that were released, I was left with one question. Who was this show made for? It sprinkles in ideas to appease certain groups, but then either doesn't follow through or does the idea half-heartedly. Let me give you a little background knowledge. I'm a 90s kid. When I watched the 1983 version of He-Man, I thought it was cheesy and corny. I honestly felt that way about a lot of 80s franchises. But I really did enjoy the 2002 reboot of He-Man. Despite watching the 1983 version first, I would say that the 2002 version was my true introduction into the He-Man franchise. And with that, we come to our first hurdle with the show. The show isn't meant for people like me, fans of the 2002 reboot, or for a newer, younger audience. It's a continuation of the 1983 show. The show assumes you know certain concepts and characters going in. For example, it has the subtitle of Revelations, and you're told a revelation in the first episode, but it's going to ring hollow for newcomers if you don't know the pre-established lore. So clearly it's meant for fans of the original show, right? I mean, it's marketed as such. But as someone who isn't even a fan of the original show, even I question if the show was meant for them. How are you gonna make a new He-Man show then kill him off in the first episode? And it's not even that he died or how he died that people find upsetting. He-Man dies sacrificing himself and saving the universe. He goes out like a true hero. People were annoyed that after he died, the main character is upset with him for the rest of the part because he didn't reveal his secret identity. Seriously? Your best friend just died, and your response is to say F everyone in this room that knew? You people kept me in the dark, I'm out of here? They just found out their son just died, come on. And then she spends the rest of the part mad at He-Man. But wait, there's more. They bring He-Man back to life in the final episode just to incapacitate him immediately. I'm having a hard time believing this was made for fans of He-Man because he is treated so poorly. Someone cynical clearly wrote this. Let's make a sequel to He-Man, kill him off, be spiteful towards him, bring him back, then stab him. Kevin, this isn't the way to treat the leading man of a franchise. Why did you do this?
Because I hate you.
Oh, I get it. We're treating He-Man like this because he isn't the main character. I've been calling the show He-Man and the Masters of the Universe Revelation, but that's not the title. It's Masters of the Universe Revelation. No He-Man in the title, just He-Man in all the trailers and promotional art. You don't think that's a little misleading, Kevin?
The whole thing is based on deception.
Put He-Man front and center just for people to watch the show and find out he's absent for most of it. We got hit with a bait and switch. He-Man isn't the main character of the show. Teela is.
Who?
Out of the 5 episodes we got so far, Teela is in all 5, while He-Man, not including flashbacks, is only in 2. So I guess the show's for Teela fans then. But even that comes into question. I'm not saying that Teela doesn't have her fans, but the show wasn't marketed as a Teela show. The show was made to promote toys, and Teela wasn't even in the first batch, despite being a prominent character in the show. Even Mossman got an action figure. The dude was on screen for less than 1 minute before they killed him off. It would almost seem like they were trying to hide Teela from the audience. A year ago, when a rumor was spreading on the internet that Teela was going to be the main character, Kevin stepped in more than once to let everyone know that it wasn't the Teela show, that it was all about He-Man, and how he felt a kind of way that people were worried that there was going to be a bait and switch, just for the show to come out and prove that the rumors were right. Listen to what they were saying during the commentary track. They knew what they were doing.
The spectral He-Man. Now this is, I say it's, the story of this episode, the main story is Teela's story. It's not really, it's Teela and He-Man's story.
Yeah.
But we see it through what's happening with Teela right now. And it's part of the thing that we knew we were going to do, that you knew we were going to do right at the beginning, which was talking about secrets.
Yes. The whole thing is based on deception.
Dude, why were you lying? And for a whole year at that? Your best course of action would have been to never address the rumors at all. Or if you were going to address the rumors, but don't want to give details about the show, then say something like, we know people are concerned. Trust we're going to do right by the franchise. Please be patient and watch. Cause all this lying business left a bad taste in a lot of fans' mouth. And when the fans called him out on the lying, he told them to grow up. Isn't it something that the guy who made a show where the main character is upset about being lied to is annoyed at fans for being upset with him for his lying? Ironic. So the show isn't for fans of He-Man, isn't for fans of Teela, for fans of the 2002 reboot, and definitely isn't for the people who've never seen He-Man. Maybe the show's supposed to be for women? You know, women empowerment and all that. Because when people would criticize the show, one of the most common deflections was that the critics have a problem with strong female leads. Don't forget, if a show has a female lead or a female character you don't like, the only reason you don't like them is because you're sexist. But putting sexism aside, the writers of the show were so far up their own ass about women empowerment that they didn't realize that they failed the Bechdel test.
The what? For God's sake, Morty, the formula for measuring female agency in a story proposed by lesbian cartoonist Allison. What the hell are they teaching you in that school?
Other stuff! What is the test?
Two women. They both have to have names and talk to each other about something.
Rick!
Other than a man.
Whenever the female leads get to have a regular conversation that isn't related to the mission, guess what it's about?
Oh, the folly of youth. I too was intrigued by dangerous men.
You didn't like it too much the last time we were here.
I liked the Crystal Sea. It was the company I didn't care for. You were always going on and on about He-Man.
You used to go on and on about Skeletor.
While we're talking about strong female characters, can we take a moment to talk about Teela's design? Did they have to take the strong female character to its literal extreme? This is like when a guy gets a huge truck or a loud car because he's insecure about his penis size. They made Teela such a stereotype. How do we show she's a strong woman? I know, we're gonna make her nice and buff. Gotta cover her chest completely. Strong women can't be sexualized. Shave the side of her head. She's already a redhead, so we don't have to dye her hair. She is such a strong, independent woman that don't need no man that she doesn't even like men. Yeah, give her a girlfriend. Oh wait, Teela doesn't have a girlfriend. This character is Andra, by the way. The relationship between the two is never stated, but in the episode she's introduced, they put in these character moments that would imply that there's something there.
It was hand-built by an engineer. This engineer. This is Andra. I prefer something more tangible.
Sweet motherboard, master of metal.
Meter metal. Wait.
Teela, you don't have to do this.
I go if you go.
So either this is another case of Kevin Smith lying again, or the show is queerbaiting, which to some people is arguably worse.
The whole thing is based on deception.
Either make them a couple or don't. Don't half-ass the relationship. That's how you add the LGBT community to the list of people who the show might not be for, because they hate queerbaiting in shows. There are multiple videos on YouTube explaining why they find it annoying, so check any of them out if you want a deeper explanation. Also, this isn't a negative per se, and I might sound like a conspiracy theorist, but does the media have something against redheads? It seems like when shows and movies start race-swapping characters, a redhead will get changed to a black person. Andra was originally a redhead, Wally West from The Flash, Iris West twice, Jimmy Olsen from Supergirl, Starfire from Titans, Batgirl, Ariel from The Little Mermaid, Hawkgirl, and April O'Neil from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. MJ gets a pass for not being Mary Jane. Again, I'm not saying it's a bad thing, I'm just pointing out an observation that I noticed. Take from it what you will. Now here's the thing. Everything I've mentioned so far is in relation to the first part of the season. We still have a part 2 coming later down the road that might be more in line with what people were expecting from the show. But by then, it might be too little too late. Kevin Smith already lost the trust of the longtime fans. You know, the people who the show was seemingly made for, with his needless lying of the situation. The marketing, Netflix splitting the season into 2 parts, Kevin's deception, the queer baiting, these things put the series in a tough spot that was easily avoidable. Part 2 doesn't just have to be good, it has to make the actions of part 1 feel justified. This show was just a weird experience. Anyways, before wrapping this up, I wanted to give a special shout out to Unhazardous for his support on Patreon. It is greatly appreciated. If you would like to assist me as well, links to all my socials are in the description. And with that being said, until next time.